Hey everybody, it's Thursday, which means it's another episode of Naturally Unbothered. I am Shari.
I'm Ebony. I'm Tasha.
And we have a guest with us today. His name is Mr. Tyrone Brown.
Hey, welcome to the show.
All right, how y'all doing? Good to have me.
All right, and for those of you who don't know who Mr. Tyrone Brown is, he considers himself a sexual kinetic energy specialist, connoisseur, guru, and he's got about 12 years of experience in this field. He also is an aspiring polyamorous person.
Okay.
So we're gonna talk about some energies and how y'all gonna get them bodies off of y'all and stuff like that today.
Bitch, how you gonna get the bodies off you, bitch?
She gotta be talking to the audience. She has to be talking to the audience.
I was clearly talking to the audience. Yeah, one of y'all is married. The other one's not fucking. I clearly was talking to the audience.
Wow.
That's why I was trying to.
So defensive.
That's why I was trying to cut her off. I was trying to.
Wow.
I knew you was talking to the people out there. I knew that's what the show is about. Us talking to the people.
I mean,
you know, Ebony always be on attack mode.
But the thing is, I feel like she must got some bodies that we don't know about because she felt real defensive in that moment.
Well, see, the thing about having bodies is sometimes you can have bodies without collectively collecting bodies. Like the people you sleep with people. So you have to always know that when dealing with sexual kinetic energy, it's not always coming from the person that you sleep with firsthand.
Right, you taking on their bodies too. Yeah,
exactly.
Mm-hmm. So that's why you defensive, because you feel them bodies they tapping on you.
Them bodies been dissolved for about 6 years.
You can keep bodies on you for a long time. You ain't never cleanse yourself of them.
I do have that ghost though, so that body could be here. I do have that.
Yeah, that's one of them old bodies that used to show up at my door. That's that body that followed you to Birmingham. That old body that used to show up at my door from that bath that you took that didn't work. That's that body. My bad, y'all.
Whatever, ho.
All right, so our cast update question is: who fucked you better? The last person you had sex with or your ex?
Who fucked me better?
Mm-hmm.
I would say the last person I had sex with.
Why?
Yeah, my ex was just lazy. You know, I did the work, so of course it was just a lot of her bending over or either laying down. So, you know, the person I'm currently with now, she gives effort. Orally, she's better orally, you know, so, and she's a little more kinkier, so some of the things that I'm into, she's into, which I'm not really into anything like extra, anything like that. I just like to take my time exploring the body, you know, if it's sucking toes, holes, rolls, stuff like that in nature, you know, that's simple stuff that I'm into. So just the feel of the body, just the energy itself.
Okay. All right, ladies. Who's going first?
Jackson.
Okay, I'll go. I guess I could say, that's a hard one for me. Let me see. Probably my ex. But that's it's almost one and the same. But my ex, I would say, why? Because that is probably the only time that I had 7 orgasms in a session, one sex session.
What's those initials?
BD, we talked about that already. However, that is the only reason. He's very exploratory. He knows what I like. He's a great fit. All that good stuff. But he definitely aims to please. So I'll just leave it there.
All right. What about you, Ebony?
I'm absolutely convinced. These questions are trying to get me in divorce court.
But you got to be honest. So
yeah, I'm gonna be honest because I'm an honest bitch. So I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest.
All right.
Everybody already knows.
Be honest. Ain't never mind. I'm gonna keep my thoughts in my head.
Keep it to yourself, ho. I think all the listeners know that KB was that one for me. I got KB and UJ that bad that didn't work.
Time out. Listen. Mm-mm.
Oh, you said one, didn't
I
you?
said the last person you had sex with or your ex. I ain't said your best fucks of your life.
Oh.
The last person or your ex.
So that's what. Oh gosh.
Your last ex, the last ex-boyfriend you ever had, or the last person you had sex with.
I have to retract that. I have to go back.
The whole book there.
The last person I had sex with. There.
Okay.
My ex was not my ex. It was my baby daddy. That's not my ex. Last ex.
Okay. So
there we go.
it's your. Okay, go ahead.
But it's who asked you the best, though, right?
No, I never said that.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood the question.
Out of the two.
The last person you fucked or your ex. That's it. I don't understand. I was about to say something, but we was going to get canceled. I can't say it. I just need you to get it together.
The question is, who fucks you best, your ex or the last person you was with?
Right.
The last person I was with.
Bitch, you're lying. You're lying.
Alex, we're going to take from Alex for $300 just to keep the marriage together, sir.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Definitely the last person I was with.
I'm going to let you off the hook, but listeners and everybody, y'all know the real truth. Anyway, mine is definitely the last person that I had sex with. 100%. Hands down.
Awesome.
Hands all the way down.
And we need to know why as well, ma'am, since you need to know why.
Why? Because...
We know that nigga whole name.
BC.
But the people don't. People need to know.
BC is the initials. That's the last person. And yeah, it was yesterday. Because like we just do all kinds of fun shit. Like I like having fun sex where you can just do all kinds of shit. Be like, oh, we did that. Okay, look at that position. Like we just be having fun. And then the ex, I mean, that shit was just sex. It was just marital sex.
Yeah, dry. Just about business.
You know?
About the partnership.
A little partnership. You know what I'm saying? So definitely the last. So.
Tyrone, you look far away. Put your face in the camera. Put your dick on the glass.
Put your dick on the glass.
Put your dick on the glass. I needed to see them features. I needed to see what them features do. If I can see your nose, I know where it goes. Okay. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. So, Mr. Tyrone, we want you
to put your dick on the glass.
Put your dick on the glass. Rub that shit across the glass like a snail. We're basically allowing you to take this topic and present it to our listeners. We'll give our input, but you the specialist. So tell us why you the guru, why you know about this shit called sexual kinetic energy.
Well, what makes me the guru of the sexual kinetic energy, not saying that I just absolutely know everything. You know, some things I learn as I go. And like I say, 12 years is just when I first, I guess, sought the vision of the sexual kinetic energy, just older female, I guess I would say. She was about 36. I was in my early 20s, like 21, 22. And just some of the things that she opened me up to and did to me at that time, it was like, oh, wow, I never had this before. But just in dealing with her and outside of just the hormones or the feelings, because I'm the type of person, if I like you, but I don't get to high feely because I don't know where this is going to go. So I kind of sit back. But if I like you sexually, you know, I'm high ceiling. So like, you know, I'm just, whatever you're into, I'm into. You know, that's the type of person I am. So now, the first thing about sexual kinetic energy.
Uh-oh.
Hold on, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I guess I was vaginally, orally. Orally is a doorway. I grew up in the Bible Belt of Florida, and one of the things growing up, we were told that oral sex is a no-no. You know, you're not supposed to give head, stuff like that. That's against, you know, God don't like that, and, you know, to each his own when it comes to stuff like that, when it comes to religion. But from what I've come to find out, that sexually, you know, sex is a release. There's energy in sex. Sexually, you can be relieved. Sexually, you can be tormented. You know, it's emotion. It's everything that we do just as life itself. When you talk about energy and emotion, you know, you can, like I say, you can cry, you can be happy. Sex can, it can bring back old memories, old times of a time when you felt comforted. You felt, you know, happy, at peace with someone. So sexually, you know, when I say tormented, you have people that were molested. I myself was molested as a child, forced to do sexual acts by family members, you know, and me being a child, I was naive, so it wasn't like I was having sex, you know. They made it seem like it was a game, but growing up, once I found out, hey, this is what it was, you know, then I knew that certain things wasn't right about it, and I guess on that side of it, when you're tormented, it like I say, it opens up a passageway, a doorway where it's like you live to either feed that sexuality that was opened up at a young age. You feed into it, where now you have a lot of homosexuality in this world. You have a lot of just transgenders. You have a lot of people that have a hard time accepting themselves behind the torment that they dealt with behind sex. And it's hard for them to talk about it. Well, all that is energy, you know, and going back to the foundation of energy is good and it's evil. So when dealing with energy, it's either good or evil. So sex being no different from anything else in this world, sex can be good and sex can be evil. So that's, like I say, going back to orally, when you open that gateway, you have to pray before you lay, in so many words. I say pray before you lay, like it's eating grace, like you saying your grace, you know, before you eat your meal, you say your grace, because you don't know, like we talked about, you don't know who this person slept with and what that person's DNA is, what's in their mold, what's in their mix. You can be dealing with a person full of rage. You can be dealing with a person full of spitefulness, you know, bitterness. And when you're dealing with those type people, if those emotions aren't of you, then characteristically when they take over you, like for instance right now at this time we're in a retrograde time, what we call the Mercury retrograde. Well, how you talked about who was your best sex partner, your ex or the last one you dealt with. Well, when you talk about the retrograde, the Mercury retrograde, it's an energetic, it's a transparent energy that's casted from the outer space, so you say, because it started with dealing with astronomy, people that study the stars, but it also deals with the human body because it throws your daily functions off. Like dealing with toxic people, their characteristics, things that they're prone to do, you may find yourself doing it. Like the other day, me and my girl, we were just around each other chilling, and her phone went off. And well, I was like, well, who the hell that is hit you up on Facebook? Just like, it was like I was picking the argument, starting an argument. Well, that is something that I picked up from my ex, my last girl. So when you talk about having sex with someone, you're talking about picking up their habits, their ways, their characteristics. So you want to really know about people before you have sex with them, basically. And as when you're younger, we have, we have sex, we just finding ourselves. It's nothing like, where it's like, hey, I'm in love with this person, I want to just be with this person. You may have common sex here and there, not knowing that this common sex is going to catch up to you spiritually. And that's in so many words what the kinetic energy, sexual, it deals with, just the energy, the spirituality. And again, you want to pray before you lay. You want to be careful. You want to be cautious, because you don't know what skeletons this person that you're dealing with carries.
I know what you mean when you say pray before you lay, because I used to pray before I laid that nigga has some good dick, because there's some trash dick garbage out there. And that's some things that you have to pray for. Like, Lord, please, don't let this be just a body I'm about to catch, and this dick is trash. But that's a prayer for y'all. Yeah, for y'all single people, I'm serious. Like, go ahead, carry on.
It's a true. I mean, I ain't never prayed that the dick wasn't trash, but
you definitely have hoped that it wasn't.
I hope that shit is not trash. Like, I hope I don't fuck him and his dick is trash.
I've definitely said some prayers. Like, I hope, I can last in it. Sometimes anxiousness takes over. We can't control this. And that's the thing women don't understand. We can't just warm up and say, hey, I'm going to score 60 points tonight like Jordan.
Tyrone,
it don't happen like that.
I have told these bitches that these bitches will write a nigga off. This one down here,
right,
with the last name Green. Hey,
you gotta give a guy at least 3 tries.
Thank you.
Anticipation builds up, especially if you have made this man wait a substantial amount of time. Like, right, he been trying to figure out, and he anticipating you finally give him some ass. He might shoot off. I mean, I get that most men should learn and know their stroke number. However, everybody is not there. And so you get at least 3. But after that third one, if we experience more of the same shit, then you don't get to come back. But I'm not going to write you off after that first time, because I know that anticipation shit can be sometimes. Hell, sometimes we as women have off motherfucking nights. I sometimes have an off motherfucking, So it happens. So I can't just always be telling that nigga.
I agree.
Well, when I have sex the first time with you, I am definitely coming the way I'm supposed to be, and so therefore I expect for you to do the same thing. And if you shoot off before you're supposed to, there's other opportunities within that sexual time frame. But if every time within that sexual time frame, meaning that event, and you still are failing to rise to the occasion, there will not be a second or a third time.
See, that's very selfish, because, well, first of all, you said shoot off.
She's a fucking Scorpio, so she don't care about shit you about to say. But I would love to hear it. I would love to hear it, however.
But so let me ask you this, because there's been a lot of times where I've lasted 2-3 hours just trying to get the first one out, just the first one. So was that trash pussy, or was I just on my A++ game? Because there's been a lot of times when I hoped up like that, and it's like, I don't know when I'm going to come. I don't know when I'm going to come. Have you came? Yeah, I came 12 times. Like, wow, when am I going to get that feeling? So, but then the next time you come around and I hit you with 2 strokes and I'm out. So do you forget about the last time when I gave you the 3? Like, is it like stop? Did I average down my time?
I literally,
2 minutes.
I literally said, you have several times within the first event. There won't be a second time for you to bust off in 2 minutes.
Tyrone, I have a question.
I'm listening. I can talk to you, Tasha.
Goddamn. So you said you do the 3 hours. I'm trying not to forget my train of thought, so I'm walking myself back through the shit you just said. So you said you do the 3 hours and then you come back and you might not be able to. Fuck, I lost my train of thought. But you said some shit that I wanted to touch on. And goddamn it, it was good. But I had a question and now I lost it.
You so
sorry.
Tasha, you be having them fucking senior moments. I swear.
I'm a senior. What the fuck?
You is not a senior, bitch.
And I have not smoked yet today. I realize that I lose my train of thought more when I haven't smoked than when I have. But anyway, it might come back, so I'll revisit.
You might need to write your questions down.
Yeah, you might need to.
How about I wrote all my shit down for my segment and left it at work, so that don't work either.
That is hilarious.
I might have something. It depends on if it come out or not. But anyway.
But Mr. Tyrone, my question to you is there, do you have like some special techniques or some type of sexual hygiene cleanses or something that helps you to get these, you know, bodies off of you after you done fucked them? I mean, you done told us what it is, but now tell the listeners how they can get these bodies off of them.
Well, see, that's the secret. You don't always get everybody off of you. Some bodies you're meant to have attached to you forever because that could have been your soulmate. Because sometimes us in the physical form, we're stubborn to what the gods have given us. They've matched us with this person that we're supposed to be intertwined with for life, locked in with, and sometimes it don't always work out that way. So some spirits don't actually ever go away. It's like this. Like you might date this one person. Like this, I'm gonna give you a prime example. I dated one chick, and we used to go out to eat, and I used to get a loaded baked potato, and me, I'm just gonna eat my baked potato like this. Well, this girl, she'll spend 30 minutes whipping this potato up, whipping it up. By the time she get done, it's like mashed potato inside the baked potato. Like she didn't tear the shell or anything, you know. And I was like, wow, how do you do that? That's something I find myself doing to this day. That's something I picked up from her, and I carried that. Like when it comes to the spirits, some people you're gonna have with you, you know, you're gonna just carry that spirit. You're not gonna never cleanse yourself of that spirit. Now, most of those spirits don't always carry bad traits in most ways that I've come to experience. Now, the spirits that do carry bad traits, that goes to the person itself, the mold, their mix, what's inside of them, what you allow yourself to hold on to. When you talk about cleansing spirits off of you, all you can do as far as cleansing spirits off of you is dominate the sex. And when I say dominate the sex, for a man, I have to know that every time I penetrate her, every time I stroke, I have to outstroke her. I have to outfuck her. I have to dominate her in the bedroom. If this woman dominates me in this bedroom mentally, in my mind, meaning I didn't perform, I didn't come to perform, she outperformed me, well, that spirit is going to weigh heavy on me because I'm going to always competitively, I'm going to want to satisfy that person. So that's a spirit I'm going to always think about. Like, some things is mind over matter. Some people you don't even think about, and you may act them out, if that makes sense. In sex, it opens up those doors with people. You may act people out that you don't even deal with anymore. You forever, like I said, you forever carry on that spirit. You know, some things that I do to help me with just the toxicity and the bad vibes of those energies, I meditate. Besides meditation, I stretch, just like a yoga type stretching, which me I used to be in martial arts when I was a kid. So a lot of stretches I do is just like dealing with martial arts and just it's all energy again. It's like martial arts stretching for me, like you just releasing pressure out your body. Like I can take my hand and just the way you put that pressure in you to release it out, it feels like I'm punching, but I'm not. My motion isn't a punch. You see what I'm saying? So I do a lot of that's basically what I do. Just meditation and stretches. So that clears the mind. It frees you of tensions in your body. So that's another thing that I do. I do massages. I do massages on women. A lot of women don't know this, but when you're tense, you're very hormonal. You're very it's like you need a Snickers. Why are you so hungry right now? You know, you got a lot of tension built up. So a lot of times you just get a massage. Go to the spa once a month. Get a massage. Get a 60-minute massage. And I guarantee you, the release that comes out of your body, just that tension, you'll be able to breathe better. You'll be able to walk better, talk better. You'll feel better. You know, things of that nature. So when it does come to sexually, your performance, you're not always, because sex is mind over matter. Like when we talk about guys, they're anxious. Maybe they came too fast. You know, maybe he couldn't get it up because he's been thinking about you all day or stuff like that. That's why you want to release those tensions. Those tensions your body carry on, it stops you from being able to perform at a maximum level. And a lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people don't understand that.
Personally, when I cleanse from partner to partner, because I currently have 2 partners, so when I definitely don't bush. I don't. I always do a cleanse of sea salt, pink Himalayan salt, and Epsom salt. Just to cleanse. Just, you know, sometimes I may sage to just get that negative energy or that energy off of me. Vaginally, I steam. I use pink Himalayan salt to steam myself internally. I do all kinds of things just to make sure that I'm not carrying that energy from the last person to the next person, because I do have multiple partners. So
now, let me ask you this, because you say you steam and those are the things you do. So that means you're having unprotected sex.
That does not mean I'm having unprotected sex.
So
you pass energy just from the sexual act itself.
That is true, but what I'm getting at is, you know, like the semen, it stays inside of a woman.
Correct.
After the sex is gone, so that itself is thicker than you having a condom on. Yeah, you're gonna have that energy, but what I'm saying is the release of the man inside of you, that energy is thicker than just that barrier sex, if you get what I'm saying. Because I
agree, but I'm not having unprotected sex. But I do know that when you are cleansing yourself spiritually, you have to cleanse yourself on the outside and the inside.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I was getting at that because that's why I was asking, you know, is that why you're doing that? Because you're having the release inside of you more? Like I said, you carry that DNA, that mold. So, yes, that's why for a woman, those are the things that you want to do for you, coming from a woman's standpoint. But that's why I was asking.
Okay. Tasha, what you had to say? Because you had your hand raised up.
Oh, that was an hour ago.
I was like, she don't remember.
When I put my hand in there, that thought was gone. So, yeah.
Do y'all have any more questions for Mr. Brown?
Oh, you know what it was? He was saying that, like, you asked about how to get rid of the energy or how to get rid of old soul ties or whatever the case may be. And then he went on to say something about trying to polarize the pussy. And I was just... It was really
dominate.
Funny.
He said you have to dominate.
I know, I'm being funny. But anyway, My question was really just going to be, you answered it. that's why I put my hand down. But in a playful manner, I'm gonna still ask it, because it sounded like when you first began to explain that you were saying that if we wanted to release a motherfucker, that we had to go back and find that motherfucker and fuck the shit out of it. That energy. But you cleared it up. But you know, it was in that sense where you were saying like some energies are meant to be there and they're gonna always be there. Ebony, and that I was gonna say LM. You know that one. That one is probably there to stay.
Yeah. I mean, AL will be there. Like there's just some energies I don't even want to be rid of, because
I'm not ready to be rid of LM. He can go.
I don't know.
Some energies you need for you in the person that you have become, because some energies were maybe the best times of your life. Like that's what helped you get to the next level. That's what helped you level up. So certain energies, it's just a part of you. That's why I say certain energies you hold on to forever.
Okay. All right.
I like it.
I'm here for it. All right. Well, Mr. Tyrone, we appreciate your presence. We appreciate you enlightening us. Can you tell everybody how they're able to follow you and find out more information about the energies and the bodies that they be carrying around and stuff like that?
Well, you can find me on Instagram at Miami_breadman. That's breadman, like actual bread that you eat. That's really all I be on. Or other than that, you hit me on Facebook. I'm Tyrone Brown on Facebook. Of course, you have to search for me because it's a million people named Tyrone. I don't know why they let my name get out like that, but it is what it is. I can't control that, you know. And outside of that, I mean, if y'all want my phone number, I can give you that, but I don't really answer it much. So
I was going to say,
if y'all want to get in contact with Mr. Tyrone Brown, y'all can call 912-434-1414 and we'll get y'all connected. That's
cool.
912.
Yeah, don't put your number out there.
1414.
We got about 11,000 listeners. You don't want them 11,000 motherfuckers calling you.
Going straight to voicemail.
So again, that number was 912-434 to get a hold of Mr. Tyrone Brown.
So people think even that condoms block the energy exchange. I'm like, no.
Right.
Condoms don't stop you from trading soul ties.
It does not. Which is why. Yeah, which is why I said I do an internal cleanse as well, and and he was like, well, why, or is it because they're nutting in you? No, because
That's what threw me, because you said that you do steaming. He was like, oh, so you let niggas know? Like, no, that's not what that means.
No, you gotta clean externally and internally, like you. Right.
Because it's still a release of energy that is still inside of you, but not like the proverbial inside of you.
Right.
The actual inside of you.
Right.
There's still a release of energy.
Correct.
That has to be cleansed.
Correct. So yeah. So Tasha, can you tell us about, what you want to tell us about tantric sex? Because I'm so down. I'm trying to find a class. Listeners, if y'all have a class, some type of anything, write in and tell us.
And I haven't, to be honest, the only reason that I haven't dove all the way into this book is because I want the first edition. This is the second edition.
Okay.
It's called The Complete Idiot's Guide to Tantric Sex, and it's some amazing stuff in here from just the few times that I have opened it, and I haven't started at the beginning, but I just opened it and kind of flipped through it. But I was gonna share something in here about it said in here that tantric sex makes you even a better parent, and then it had listed some things. Oh, here it goes. Tantric parents raise healthier kids, is what it says. Following a tantric lifestyle can help you raise healthier children. Here are a few ways. Okay, so be a model of loving relationships. Kids learn from what they see at home. If you are loving, they are more likely to be loving too. Work out your own problems. The happier you are as a person, the better mood you will be in when you relate to your kids. If you harbor anger towards men or women, they will pick up on that. I'm going to stop and speak to that right now, because this angers me more than anything about married couples who say they stay together because of the kids. Those kids, y'all are damaging those children more than you are helping them.
Yes.
They might be a little broken because their mom and dad, their parents split, but for them to stay and see how toxic you all are with each other and how y'all treat each other, that damages them more than a divorce and separation could ever damage.
The lack of communication, the lack of affection, the lack of intimacy, all of that. They feel all of it. Just because you're not yelling and arguing out loud does not mean that they're not taking it all in.
Correct. And it has nothing to do with their age. From toddlers and up.
I agree.
Too young, they don't see that, they don't feel that. That's bullshit.
I agree.
That's the facts.
As a person who has stayed in a marriage for the children, I agree with you. Because my kids are actually the individuals who told me, you don't got to stay in this for us. We see you unhappy.
Yeah.
And that right there alone, just the fact that they said that to me, that they recognize that, let me know that I no longer needed to be in the situation. They saw it.
You were doing justice, but you were really doing them an injustice, but you had kids old enough to let you know that.
Yes.
But what about the children that aren't old enough to say that? They don't know. You know
I agree. So, I agree that staying for the kids is...
It's some bullshit.
It's not some bullshit, but it's not very good parenting.
What you think it's doing?
Yeah,
it's not healthy.
It's not.
Like you think you're staying because it's healthy for the kids, and it's not. It's detrimental. It can be if it's an unhealthy environment.
I agree.
I'll say that.
Even and my situation was not an unhealthy environment. However, my kids know how happy I am and how happy I tend to be, and therefore I was not happy.
They saw the difference. It doesn't teach them, but it doesn't teach them how to resolve issues in relationships if they don't see any relationships being resolved in it. You know what I'm saying? So if you're in a relationship, they never see you talk out your problems. They just see you going one way and this person going one way. The relationship the problem doesn't get fixed. They see y'all avoiding each other. So that's how it is. Or the lack thereof.
That's a true statement.
And that's not helpful.
All right, Ebony, take us out.
All right, y'all can follow Naturally Unbothered on IG, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. You can email us at naturallyunbothered2@gmail.com. You can leave us a voicemail at 912-434-1414. If y'all want Mr. Tyrone Brown to bang the energy out here, 912-434-1414. That's 912-434-1414. We welcome the feedback, the comments, the show ideas, never nice. You absolutely know how I love getting those advice requests, so keep them coming. You can listen on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. That's where you can find us. Make sure that you're subscribing when we are posting on YouTube so that you are made aware of when we are dropping new episodes. So if you're looking for Naturally Unbothered merch, like nobody has any, okay, there it is. You can go to www.naturallyunbothered.com. That is www.naturallyunbothered.com and click the merch link, and then we'll hook you up. So I just need everybody on this podcast today and everybody listening to this podcast to tell your whole-ass friends so that they can tell their whole-ass friends, and then they'll go back and tell their whole-ass friends to tune into Naturally Unbothered. Thank you so much, Mr. Tyrone Brown, for being part of this podcast.
Thank you, Mr. Tyrone Brown. Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate
good stuff.
Until next time, everybody, this has been another great episode of Naturally Unbothered.